Somewhere in Borno State, a community woke up one morning and life was never the same again. Families were torn apart, soldiers were killed, women and children were taken, and the question that hangs in the air, the question that many Nigerians are quietly asking is this: when will it stop? Today, we are going to walk through what happened, what we know so far, and what it means for Nigeria. Stay with us because this story matters, not just to the people of Borno, but to every family in this country. Reports coming from the northeast confirm that Boko Haram fighters launched a deadly attack on a military location in Borno State. The attack was fierce and came with little warning. Nigerian soldiers, men who had put on their uniforms to protect their country, lost their lives. The exact number of casualties has not been officially confirmed at the time of this report, but multiple credible sources are describing the assault as significant. The Nigerian army has acknowledged the attack and says it is conducting operations in response. Let that settle for a moment. These were not just soldiers in a report. These were sons, brothers, husbands, fathers, men with families waiting for them to come home. And then there are the women and children. According to reports, a number of civilians, women and children were abducted during the attack. This is not a new tactic. Boko Haram has used the abduction of civilians, particularly women and young people, as a weapon of terror for well over a decade. Many Nigerians still carry the wounds of incidents past. Many families are still waiting. And now, once again, new families have joined that painful waiting. Now you may be asking, where exactly did this happen and why does it matter where? Borno State in Nigeria's northeast has been the center of the insurgency that began in the early 2000s. The Lake Chad Basin area, the deep rural communities, the forest corridors, these are spaces where the Nigerian military and insurgent groups have been locked in an ongoing battle. Civilians in these areas have borne the heaviest cost. Farmers cannot farm, children cannot go to school safely, families live in a constant state of uncertainty. This is why every attack in Borno is not just a security story, it is a human story. It is a story about a people who deserve peace. If this is resonating with you, if you believe that stories like this deserve careful, honest attention, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It helps more people find content that treats serious news with the seriousness it deserves. Now back to what the authorities are saying. The Nigerian military has stated that it is reinforcing its presence in the affected area and pursuing the attackers. The Nigerian government has, as in previous incidents, expressed condolences to the families of soldiers who lost their lives. Security analysts have noted that attacks of this nature often coincide with periods when insurgent groups are attempting to reassert their presence or disrupt military advances. Whether that is the case here is still being assessed. What is also being discussed quietly among security observers is the broader picture. Boko Haram, which in some factions operates under the name ISWAP, the Islamic State West Africa province, has continued to pose a threat to military and civilian targets despite years of counterinsurgency operations. The group has been weakened in some respects, but it has also shown a troubling ability to reorganize, regroup, and strike. This attack appears to be another example of that. Think about what it takes to live in that region. Think about the ordinary person in a village near the forest who has no army of their own, who has only the hope that those who are paid and trained to protect them will be enough. This attack shakes that hope, and the government must understand that hope is not a small thing. For communities already worn by years of displacement and loss, hope is sometimes the only thing keeping life moving forward. This is also a moment for the rest of Nigeria to pay attention. It can be easy when you live far from Borno, far from Yobe, far from Adamawa, to feel like this is someone else's problem. But a nation is only as secure as its most vulnerable part. When any community in Nigeria is under this kind of threat, the whole country is diminished. We do not yet have the full picture. The number of abducted civilians has not been confirmed with precision. The identities of the soldiers killed are still being established and communicated to families. Investigations are ongoing. We will continue to follow this story and bring you updates as verified information becomes available. We will not rush to fill gaps with speculation. The people affected by this attack deserve accuracy, not noise. What we can say clearly is this: the attack happened, lives were lost, people were taken, and the community is in pain tonight. As you go about your day, perhaps you could spare a thought for the families of those soldiers, for the mothers of abducted children who are spending tonight not knowing, for the communities of Borno that have endured more than most Nigerians will ever have to imagine. Their resilience is extraordinary. Their need for lasting peace is urgent. Security in the Northeast is not a political talking point. It is a human necessity. And until every Nigerian, regardless of where they live, can feel safe in their own community, the work is not done. If this video gave you something to think about, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like the video and subscribe so you never miss our coverage. We cover Nigerian news with care, with honesty, and with deep respect for the people at the center of every story. The story of Borno is still being written. Let us hope the next chapter brings peace.